Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. So it's been a long day. It started with this one this morning. We did this up on Patreon only, talking about protests that led to White House evacuations, excess deaths, heart disease and cancer skyrocketing, and some ideas on protecting your health. Again, we want to thank everybody over at Patreon for your support. And we just did this one, which was a message that came through from the guides about how emotions are portals to other dimensions. And that came through in this morning's meditation. And this also is something relatively recent. This is a new eruption going on up in Iceland. Another eruption as we see. Boom. Look at that. You know, Cindy picked up that this is not like anything minor. This is what were you saying? This is like a keynote event. This is a timeline marking event.
Yeah, this is a timeline marker. So even though it might be taking some time to roll out in the big scheme of things, this is just a very important part of it.
Yes, and as you see, this tweet is saying the 14th of January 2024 will go down in the history books as a sad day in the history of Iceland and the small fishing village of Grindavik in the Reykjanes Peninsula, as this one is already burning down houses now. You know, Iceland is, in my mind, challenging enough to live that far north in that much cold. And you could see, you know, again, Mother Earth is going to make herself anew yet again.
Well, it's so unfortunate, and I do want to send our wishes and our good vibrations and intentions that everyone gets out of there safe and that they find a place to live, because I couldn't imagine if I had to get all of my belongings out of one of those huge houses and just hit the road. I mean, where would I start? I have so many things that I wish to have in my life. Of course, my puppies, and not to mention, you know, the health aspect of everything I have to keep up with. It's like, what do you decide to throw in a little bitty bus and take off? And these are huge houses. So I'm really feeling for these people and their fear and their concern and everything right now.
And another day and another coup revolution, or whatever you want to call it. I guess it depends from what perspective we're looking at it. On Inauguration Day, a coup attempt is underway in Guatemala. President and his allied members of Congress have been refused their swearing in by a group of golpistas known as the Pacto de Corruptos. The situation is developing. You know, again, you just never know. It's one country after another that we're seeing chaos in. As you see this one saying signs of a coup in Guatemala by the Queen of Coups. Samantha Power is an architect of the Libya, Syria, and Yemen wars. Oh, yeah. Here you have tear gas being used against the people who had gathered in support of the elected president. Samantha Power, by the way, this is her page on Britannica. Born September 21st, 1970, from London, England. American journalist, human rights scholar. You know, again, in this world, well, you could see. She was in the administration of President Obama. And, you know, I think enough said and done there. Everything is upside down, inside out. Power spent her early childhood in the Dublin suburb of Castleknock, moved to the United States with her family at the age of 9, first to Pittsburgh, then on to Atlanta. And then she went from wanting to be a sports journalist to seeing Tiananmen Square and deciding she was going to be more of a war journalist. She went to the war-torn former Yugoslavia, which has been broken up into many pieces now. And it says it convinced her of seeing the atrocities going on there, of the need for the great powers, the United States in particular, to intervene militarily in other countries to prevent genocides. So she wrote a book in 2002, A Problem from Hell, America and the Age of Genocide, which won the Pulitzer Prize for general nonfiction. Became a reference source for discussions of genocide, humanitarian intervention, etc., etc. When you look at it, and it talks again about having to save the people of Libya from Muammar al-Gaddafi, which we've talked about in detail with what was really going on there. Again, the history books are written by the victors. And, it might be that there will be history books out there that will talk about Gil Bates and the Sickle Maker as two of the most wonderful humanitarians in history. This is how things get revised. Seriously. And then we look back and we wonder, what really happened. And, all it takes is 100 years and there's nobody left in general to tell you what they saw. And this is what we have that's been going on as history is constantly being rewritten. So, take Guatemala temporarily off the list of places to go visit at the moment. Looks like there's a little chaos over there. Wait a minute, what's this guy doing here? There's a rabbit talking. In 48 hours, Serbia will have massive protests after the brutal beating of the crowd. Vučić, that's the leader of Serbia, said they ran like rabbits. Uh-oh. Now, he is one that we have pointed out. Watch him, because he really feels like he might be the one that our friend Alois Ermeiler had foretold as being one of the three that would be assassinated that would lead to the immediate start of the war, because he did say what would appear to be a migrant killing somebody of political significance in the Balkans, and then the war starts. So here you go. Russia Today propaganda accused Jason and me. This is Ivana Stradner. She's a research fellow, special correspondent, Kiev Post, of plotting a color revolution in Serbia. Maybe on Tuesday we'll see a blue color revolution. Oh, blue and yellow, huh? Meanwhile, here you go. Serbian students taken to the streets of Belgrade after Vučić regime arrested their colleagues during a protest a few weeks ago. He mocked them as running away like rabbits. Now they wear the rabbit ears masks and mock Vučić. Keep an eye on Serbia. Absolutely.
Definitely a lot going on.
What do you feel? Did you get anything in particular from I know when I had asked you about him, you got that feeling like he might be somebody of significance in what's happening.
Definitely. And what I get with the people is just so much inner turmoil that there could be quite an explosion soon.
Yeah. Bangladesh has become the latest country to express support for South Africa's genocide case against Israel at the ICJ. And over here we see clowns are now running Davos. Well, clowns have always been running Davos, haven't they? But they've really arrived. They're coming out of the woodwork, coming out of the closet. And here you go, 2 busloads of unhinged anti-Fa protesters, some of whom dress like clowns, showing up to the members of the few again. Yes, dear.
We don't mean to give clowns a bad name.
No. We like clowns, even though they can be very, very creepy. I mean, in some ways, what could be more creepy than a clown? Other than Klaus.
I couldn't tell you.
Well, this guy has decided, he thinks he might need until 2060 or 2065, but he's going to run for world leader. He hopes that Klaus will be out of power by then. I'm sure he will be. Yeah. I don't think Klaus will. Yeah. Nah. 2065? Nah. And Gil Bates, well, yeah, maybe they'll be back over in Mars by that time.
Well, we all got to start somewhere, and this guy is, he's doing his legwork here.
Yes, he has been taught well. He's pressing the flesh, and he's greeting everyone personally.
Indeed.
And we want to thank all of you guys personally. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being with us on this ride. We look forward to your comments Let us know what you want to see more of, too. What type of deep dives do you want to go more into? I know we've been focused on the crazy news a lot lately. We personally love doing the deep dives when it comes to how our history is so hidden and not what it seems to be, as well as the spiritual side of things. But would love to see your guys' take on what do you want to see more of in 2024 from us.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.